news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton today told House lawmakers she had no knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and does not recall ever meeting him. Chairman James Comer of the House Oversight Committee says they still have more questions for the Clintons.
The purpose of the whole investigation is to try to understand Epstein. How did he accumulate so much wealth? How was he able to surround himself with some of the most powerful men in the world?
Now, this is the first of 2 days of closed-door depositions in Chappaqua, New York, that will also include former President Bill Clinton. Hillary Clinton maintains their knowledge of Epstein is, quote, very limited. Bill Clinton is scheduled to appear before lawmakers tomorrow. So now Democrats are demanding President Trump also testify to congressional investigators about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Representative Robert Garcia is the panel's top-ranking Democrat.
From day one, we have said that we want to talk to anyone, any person that has information about Jeffrey Epstein, about his crimes, about how he was able to get so much wealth. So we're happy to be here, and we're glad that both Secretary Clinton and former President Clinton are willing to talk to this committee.
Garcia says the House committee's subpoena to a former president sets a precedent. Iran and the United States are holding another round of indirect talks in Geneva. Iran says talks with the U.S. progressed, quote, very intensely and very seriously in Switzerland. Today's talks are aimed at reaching a deal on Tehran's nuclear program and potentially averting another war, as the U.S. gathers a massive fleet of aircraft and warships in the Middle East. And we're learning more about the shootout between a boat from Florida and Cuban soldiers. The speedboat carrying 10 people approached Cuba's north shore and opened fire on Cuban soldiers who returned fire, killing 4 people and wounding 6 others. The Cuban government accused the people in the boat of trying to infiltrate the country to unleash terrorism and said they were Cubans living in the U.S. The U.S. government is gathering information about the incident, with Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying it was not a U.S. government operation. Nvidia has suffered its worst stock decline in 3 months after that company's latest forecast failed to dispel fears of an AI bubble. Investors are seeking stronger assurances that booming AI spending can be maintained, with lingering questions over whether the current AI spending wave can sustain growth beyond the next few years. Nvidia shares right now more than 4% lower. And a rout in chipmakers is weighing on stocks. We do check those markets for you all day long here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 is down 1%, NASDAQ down 1 3/4%, the Dow down 0.4%. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4% and the 2-year yield at 3.44%. We're checking Bitcoin now. It's down 3.1%, around $67,000. Warner Brothers Discovery reported lower fourth-quarter sales and earnings, underscoring the challenges it faces as it considers competing takeover bids from Paramount and Netflix. On a call with investors, CEO David Zaslav says the board engaged with 4 bidders, leading to 8 price increases and a 63% increase in value since September.
Our board continues to lead a rigorous, highly competitive, and thorough sales process.
Warner Brothers shares now little changed. The latest weekly jobless numbers are out. The low hire, low fire trend continues, as we learned from Bloomberg's Michael McKee.
212,000. That's up a little bit from 208,000, a revised number from last week, but it is still a very low number. Continuing claims, 1,833,000, down from 1,864,000 the prior week. And of course, those are week delayed.
Bloomberg's Mike McKee. The average 30-year mortgage rate in the U.S. has slipped below 6% for the first time since 2022 to 5.98%, and that could breathe some life into the coming spring home selling season. A rate below 6% may ease affordability slightly and get some buyers off the fence, but borrowing costs still have to plunge significantly further to fully unlock the housing market. And a federal judge has rejected a request to block the Trump White House from building its $400 million Ballroom project. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani is reportedly set to meet with President Trump today. That trip to the White House was unannounced. The agenda is not clear, but sources tell the New York Times it would focus in part on building housing in New York City. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris, and this is Bloomberg.